Hi, kids.
That's what we're doing. We're having tea with
Wilma.
And it's so nice.
She's a little doll.
Why
She's
are
a
we
little
having tea with
doll.
Wilma again? What are we promoting?
We're promoting a show called West End Fest. It's a concert.
I was too busy having tea.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Well, stop that. Well, she has something Starbucks. That's a lie.
Calm down.
It's called West End Fest.
West
It's
End
a
Fest?
concert, yes, and it's all in aid of cystic fibrosis and the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. And it's at St Paul's Church on the 18th of November, and there's a whole host of artists, not unlike this one, and not unlike this one, ding, and not unlike this one. And we're all going to be singing our little guts out and throwing you our vocal cords.
How do you get tickets, Sabrina?
You get tickets on the Twitter website, which is West End Fests. There's an S at the end, because there's another one called West End Fest, and they're not us. And there's a link there that gives you
So
all
follow,
the details.
basically, you're telling everyone to get on Twitter, follow that.
It's not
I think that's
hard.
the
It's not
website.
hard. It's really not hard. You're a click away from heaven. Hello. I'm going to take my chewing gum out. That's coming up in theatre etiquette. My name is Sabrina Alouche. I've got a bin. Thank you, Tim. The name is Sabrina Alouche.
Hang on.
Can leave that in. Yes, the name is Sabrina Alouche. I grew up in London my whole life. Literally bubbled in Zone 1 my entire life, which is great, but also not. But I'm not going to digress. I studied at Silver Young. I was part-time there. I did a year at Mount View afterwards. Went straight into the world of front of house theatre for a good 5 years, which was quite essential to my theatre etiquette training. And from there I went into Les Miserables as Eponine. I did a year, and then I had a few months off before going into We Will Rock You as Scaramouche. And now we're here, present day, 2012, and it's just, it's happening. It's here. That's where we're at.
My name is Tim Driesen. I'm from Belgium originally, but I've lived and worked in England for about 10 years now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've done shows including Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor The Dreamcoat, which must be the longest title in history. In Town of the Mamma Mia, Never Forget, now Rock of Ages, in which I'm alternate Drew. So I'm on every week, every Tuesday, if you want to come watch. And various other shows, if you ever want to know. Just visit my website, timdriesen.com.
Okay. So I'm Hannah Levane, and born and bred Londoner, and I have always been interested in theatre, always gone to see theatre since I was a kid. I'm really good at ignoring Sabrina. That's another one of my talents. Went to drama school when I was about 14, went to the Brit School, and then went to Arts Ed. And the rest, they say, is history. I don't really know what else to say. My first show out of college was Porgy and Bess. That was an amazing experience, just incredible. Working with some sort of theatre legends, getting directed by Trevor Nunn, that was pretty special for my first experience. Then went on to do things like Blues in the Night, High School Musical. Yeah, that happened. We Will Rock You with someone called Sabrina I don't know. That was amazing. Again, like getting paid to headbang to Queen. Yes, thanks. That's all right. I'll do that for a year. That'd be amazing. Then I did Flashdance right here at Shaftesbury Theatre, where we are right now. And again, that was beautiful. That was a really, really nice experience. Met some incredible people doing that. And Arlene Phillips. I mean, what's not to say about that woman? She's incredible. She's amazing. I've just literally a week ago finished the Sister Act tour. Oh, not quite made. And now I'm here getting ready to do some gigs and just welcome you back into the West End fold. The funny things that have happened to me on stage since I have been a professional actress on the West End and regional theatre stage. I'm going to hate myself, by the way. I'm going to regret all of this in a minute, but it's fine. Probably my favourite thing was falling flat on my ass at the Manchester Playhouse Theatre. No, it's not Playhouse, it's called the Palace Theatre. Shame, embarrassing. And I basically was coming on from my bow, so all eyes were on me. Yeah. And it was in High School Musical, and me and my partner at the time, Carlton Connell, playing Chad, and I was playing Taylor. We had to run on from opposite sides of the stage and sort of do a bit of a jump, real cool to the audience, and then come together in the middle, centre stage, and bow. So Hannah jumped, so cool, thinking I'm absolutely the dog's bollock, and I fall flat on my ass, like literally spread eagle on the floor in front of thousands of people, and my whole cast just erupt with laughter, and I just lie there. Me being the blagger that I am, I just turned round as if it was totally supposed to happen. I was like lying on the floor like this, just going, yeah, that's cool. And Carlton was just stood over me, laughing his head off, didn't even help me get up. And I just shouted at him on stage, just like, get me up! So, yeah, we broke character then. It was really professional for that kind of things. Those kind of things happen. I love it when people try. I'm a really supportive actress. I absolutely love it when someone's in full flow and then they're just like, and the white fear goes over their face and you know they're gone. And there's nothing you can do apart from just to laugh inside at them, at their fail. I love it when things like that happen. I love it when comedy things happen in the pit. Like if you hear just like a flute go off in the middle of a scene. Those kind of things make me laugh. Because I'm really mature. So, yeah.
Right, okay, let's see. Les Mis, again, I think Hannah had the same kind of story as me. I was taking a bow. For a year, I was telling them my coat was too long. And for a year, they ignored me. They ignored my cries. So it was I think it was the final week. And I was running out to take my bow. And it was Sophia Ragavalis and I. And we both came out as Spontinas Eponine. And we walked down to the front and took our bows. And I slipped on my coat, travelled forward at quite a considerably fast speed. One might say neck-breaking, and ended up pretty much in the orchestra pit. And this is during the bows, so of course everyone's clapping, and it's not the kind of show you can break the fourth wall at, because we're all ghosts and dead. Sorry to spoil it, but you should have seen it by now. It's been going on for like 26 years. And so the audience were just shocked and cried, and everyone just stopped clapping, and it was that kind of silence, and I'll never forget that. But then loads of things that rock you, like Amanda Coots dropping a bin during a scene that just rolled down stage and then took about an hour to stop. And then I think Kellyanne Gower, she fell and it took about an hour for her to fall, like that much. She was like clinging onto the air. Lots of fun things.
There's been quite a few funny things that have happened to me on stage. I'll just pick, oh God, the most embarrassing ones. I was doing a show called Never Forget, which was based on the Take That songs. And at the start of Act 2 we came out, it was this kind of changing costume, going from like geeky boy band wannabes into like a proper a bit more of a themed boy band. And at a certain point we had to come out from behind the screens in just our underwear. In the interval I forgot to put my underwear on, so I was just in a jockstrap which was flesh coloured, so it kind of looked like I was wearing nothing, so I had to pull. Literally, I didn't even know, so I had to kind of like, I was walking forward and people kind of gasping and pointing. I was like, oh my God, so I had to just pull down the vest top that I was wearing at the time just to cover my my private parts. Even though you couldn't see anything because it was flesh coloured, it looked like I was naked on stage, which I wasn't. Yeah, so that's a funny thing that happened. When I did Starlight Express, I was on for a part called Caboose once, which meant that at the end of, by one rock and roll too many, you come down with Greaseball and Electra, and it was this like coordinated skate down, turn round, and then kind of like a coordinated fall. My skate got caught because I was shit at skating, and we kind of came down. We fell down halfway through the skate down to the front. So needless to say, I never went on for that part again, which I'm still bitter about to this day. So yeah, there's like just a few crazy things that happened.
I can answer that. That's not hard. My favourite West End musical song ever in the world is the prologue to Ragtime. I just had to like give you a little pause at the end of that. I think it's the most perfect piece of music ever written. And I sound like I'm joking, but I genuinely mean it. I just think it's absolutely amazing in every way. It's got kind of like, and also to sound really wanky, but like Ragtime is an era where the modern musical theatre sort of genre as we know it now, that's how it all began. And so Ragtime, the prologue, you kind of get all of the different musical influences in the one song, and it also introduces all the characters that you need to know about in the play, and it's dramatic and incredible, and the harmonies are just beautiful. I think it's the most perfect piece of musical theatre ever written in the world. There. So Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, thanks, well done.
See, this is very difficult because my favourite song from any musical changes on a daily or weekly basis. But if I can say the perfect theatre show for me, I'll start off with that one. I probably won't get away with it because Wilma, you won't let me. But for me, the perfect theatre show is Hairspray. I think from start to finish, there's not a dull moment in the show. I've seen it about 6 or 7 times and never got bored. So if you talk about perfect musical, that's probably as close to perfect for my type of musical that you can get.
I don't know if I can get away with this, but can I say Les Mis, which is actually one long song? Okay, because I do like the whole of that score, and it does flow into each song, but okay, no. I won't try and be clever again. Favourites, I do love Flesh at the moment, today. My favourite song would be Flesh Failures from Hair, because I love it. And I like the tight harmonies as well, and the shrill belt notes, yeah.
The last show I saw, Loserville. I saw Loserville. It was the last show I saw. Had some friends in it, and I loved it. And I genuinely loved it. I genuinely thought it was really, really fun. And I loved all the sort of stuff. I've never seen Star Wars in my life. So if a musical theatre show can make me understand Star Wars and I can still get all the references, then well done in my book. I think it was really fun. It was great. I had a really fun time. I said, that's how you do cheesy, fun, American teen musical theatre. That's how you do it. Not like High School Musical. I can say that now because I've done it. It's been gone. But not like that.
The last show I saw was Taboo at the Brixton Playhouse. Incredible cast. I'm so glad I got to go and see it as well. Paul Baker's just immense. Just the entire cast are really strong. It's a really sort of edgy, taboo show. There you go. The clues in the title. So yeah, and I would go and I'd go and see it, but it's extended now, hasn't it? So you've got plenty of time. But it's a fantastic show. It's my kind of thing. I love shock theatre, so it's definitely right up my alley.
The last show I went to see was...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Warm-up will commence on stage in 5 minutes. Can you please start to make your way down to the stage? That's warm-up on stage in 5 minutes, please. Thank you.
The glamour of theatre. Right. The last show I went to see was Singing in the Rain for the second time. Because I loved it so much the first time. I had to take my mum to see it, which was great. And I loved it. Again, you know, it's a great show. I wasn't keen on watching it the first. I was like, oh God, it's Singing in the Rain. It's going to be like old and boring. And it was just joyous from start to finish.
Theatre etiquette is really important. I come from, like, I always went to the theatre when I was a kid. My mum always taught me to be patient and silent and, you know, be polite and clap after every single number or, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I've got a thing about phones and Twitter and people who tweet me, that's what you say, right? Not very cool at things like that. Yeah, people who tweet me in the middle of a show, and I'm like, well, I know for a fact that you must have tweeted that while I was still on stage, so that's really awkward. Don't like things like that, and we can see you. For some reason, we live in a world where the audience still think that they're watching a film, and because they're in the dark, they think they're not being seen. Whereas if you've got your phone and it lights up, pretty sure we can see you, okay? So... And we're not so wrapped up, I know, right, spoiling the magic, we're not so wrapped up in what we're doing that we can't see people, we can't get distracted. I really hate that. So phones are a massive no-no, especially when people answer them, when they're just like, hello, yeah, no, it's shit. I don't know, last tube hope, so like that kind of crap, so don't like that. I still want to be in a world where we dress up to go to the theatre. I don't like it when I see people in tracksuits. I really do. I still give a shit about what I wear. Keep swearing. I'm not allowed to swear, right? Not really. It's happening.
I don't like people eating anything ever in general, but mainly if I'm singing a song and they're just chewing and chomping, and it's like, just if you've got a packet of crisps in your hand, just take the top one. You know how to really dig down to the bottom of the. Just take one, and it's getting me really angry right now, actually. I don't like that at all. I would never dream of doing that. So it blows my mind people just sit there scoffing their face with popcorn, just like they're watching a film. Well, you're not. We're on stage. We can see you. We can see you. Don't do it. But they sell them at the theatre. So do it, but quietly.
You see, now with theatre etiquette, it's quite difficult because we live in a generation where going to the theatre is pretty much like, sitting in your front room, and people who come to the theatre, not always, it's great to get a new type of crowd into the theatre rather than people that go to see everything, which is great. And we need to have people that the theatre needs to kind of keep evolving with its public. The only problem with that is that obviously you have people that treat it like you can just pause the television and go and get yourself a cuppa. Again, like when we do Never Forget, selling cocktails in the bar, and you get people on the second row kind of like standing and saying, "Oh, do you want another one? Do you want what is it, vodka Coke? Right, what you have in? Cocktail, great." So you have people taking an order for like half a row whilst there's a scene going on. I mean, as an actor, it's not. I mean, it's hard to deal with because obviously you are trying to concentrate, you are trying to do your job, and there's people trying to enjoy the show and seeing what's going on when there's like a few people who can be slightly disruptive. I think, so for me personally, if you need the toilet, obviously you need the toilet. If you want to go and get a drink, go and get a drink. If you want to eat sweets, eat sweets. If you need to answer your phone, but don't do it in the auditorium. Go outside, you can creep out, have your sandwich there, if you have your conversation there, send a text from there. If you need the toilet, go to the toilet. Just be conscientious that there's like another 1,600 people, 800 people, 20 people, however big the theatre is, that there's other people who are trying to enjoy the show, who have paid exactly the same amount of money as you have. Just do it for them as much as for the performers on stage. I mean, we're doing our job. We kind of have to be within a moment. It just takes more concentration, but that's our job. So, it's annoying, but you can deal with it. It's just not very nice for other people. The other thing I hate is people being rude to front of house staff. I just think there is no need. Don't speak to people the way you don't want to be spoken to yourself. If you have a problem, say it say it to someone. Obviously, you have to go and tell someone, but say it in a nice manner. You don't have to be an absolute screamer about it, and don't do it again in the auditorium. Go outside and speak to someone.
I would love to work on loads of stuff. It's a very easy question to ask the unemployed actress at the moment. I suppose dream shows are things like Ragtime. I'd absolutely love to work on that. I think it's amazing for all sorts of reasons. I'd love to work on The Colour Purple. I'd love to do lots of shows in my life. I'm one of those actresses that wants to have the typical varied career, and I'd love to do some Shakespeare. I'd love to do a straight play, and I've got my serious voice on now to prove that I can do it. No, I'd love to do all sorts. I'd love to do some comedy. I'd love to do some sort of like sketch show at the Edinburgh Fringe, all sorts of stuff. That's what I would really, really like to do. I'm working on it. Festival 2013. Watch out. I'm so cool, aren't I, though?
Oh, wow.
Like, ridiculously so.
Yeah. Miss Saigon, I've always wanted to do that show. Wicked, I'd love to do that one. Blood Brothers, I'm gutted it's closing, but, oh God, I love that show. Hair. Just any new, fresh, exciting show that hasn't been done before. Love all that. Love the idea of doing Chichester, Edinburgh. Just any small production that you can sort of build a character from the start, be part of the creative process. Love all that as well. Basically any show that I haven't been in, which is quite a few, I'd like to do.
I'd love to play, at some point in my career, I'd love to play Joe Gillis in Sunset Boulevard. That's always been a bit of a dream part. I love Charlie Kringas in Merrily Roll Along. That's another part that I'd love to play at some point in my career. That's just, so there's probably more than that as well. But I just think it's so difficult to say what your next job's going to be. I love creating, apart from scratch, being in a show and being the first person to do something, which is great. I've done that a few times, and that's a nice thing to do. But it's, I'm just open to any new experience. So
St Paul's Church on the 18th of November. Be there or be square, guys.
Give us a belt note, Hannah. Show them what they've got coming up.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's what you got coming.
I know.
You got this guy as well. He's immense, and he's closing the show.
yeah, like I've done with many a show before.
This is now 10 minutes long, so...
How long was it supposed to be, Wilma? Never mind. Come kids, come grown-ups, come one and all. And it's going to be a fantastic night for a great cause.
Now, Wilma, put the kettle on.